Hello. So, for those of you who are new here, I have inattentive ADHD, cerebral palsy, generalized anxiety disorder, and major depressive disorder. Um, I have been on 12.5 milligrams of the stimulant mydayis and 10 milligrams of the antidepressant trintellix for about 3 months now. So, I started sometime in April, like mid to late April. And this is probably the longest I've been on any medication, except for a couple of years ago when I was on Zoloft. I was on that for a little over a year. In my channel, you'll find like mental health updates and medication updates. I have tried a number of like stimulants and antidepressants, and I have reviewed them and talked about the side effects all in my channel if you want to check those out. I always say if you're going to start on a new medication to give it at least a month before you decide whether or not it's right for you, unless of course you're having like adverse side effects like a rash or something that's really making your condition worse. Then obviously you don't want to keep taking that medication, right? Um, so recently I stopped taking both my antidepressant and my stimulant for almost a week because my sleep schedule was so messed up and I just kept waking up late, and I was waking up too late in the day to take my stimulant medication because if I take it late it keeps me up at night, so I always have to take it like early in the morning. And then yesterday morning and today I started taking the medication again. So for the past almost a week, I hadn't taken my medication, my stimulant, or my antidepressant, and I was really feeling it. Like I was just so tired of feeling like lethargic, like a zombie. I had no energy. I felt like I wasn't really here, like I was zoning in and out, constantly. And then I mentioned in a previous video that I had a feeling that most of those symptoms were because of the stimulant medication. Because when you kind of stop taking them cold turkey like that, you really kind of feel the withdrawal symptoms. Um, and for some, the withdrawal symptoms may be more severe than for others. But then yesterday, when I got back on the medication after not taking it for almost a week, I almost immediately felt a difference, like so much so that I was actually able to clean my room after it had been a mess for like weeks, right? And if you have inattentive ADHD, you know what it can be like, being disorganized and messy. And I have lived in piles of clutter most of my life, and my mom has been the same way, and my sister. Uh, I have mentioned this in previous videos too, but I always say that I suspect that other people in my family, like my mom and my sister, also have ADHD, but I'm just the only one who has been officially diagnosed and started actually looking for treatment. So yesterday, when I took my stimulant medication after I hadn't taken it in like a week, I felt like a burst of energy, right? And I was able to clean my room. And that feeling is amazing when you've been living in like uh, a messy, cluttered room for so long, and you finally see the space and you see how clean it is. Um, I honestly think that I felt such a big sense of accomplishment that I was telling my mom that I think I felt more accomplished about cleaning my room last night than I did about getting my bachelor's degree a couple months ago in May. And it sounds kind of silly, but academics has always kind of been my thing. So I've been in school for a long time, and I'm going to be starting my master's degree in August for speech and language pathology, which my end goal is to become a speech therapist. But when I got my bachelor's degree and my associate's degree, and when I got my graphic design certificate, I didn't really feel like a big sense of accomplishment. And then yesterday, when I cleaned my room after it had been messy for such a long time, I was like so proud of myself, and I was just so happy, and I felt so accomplished. So I guess it just goes to show you that you don't have to accomplish something big to kind of feel accomplished and be proud of yourself, especially as people with ADHD, we know how difficult it can be to kind of stay organized and stay clean. And it has just been a lifelong struggle for me. So, my next goal is to keep it clean, right? Because it's so much easier to keep a space clean and organized than it is to clean it after you haven't cleaned it for months, right? So, I think I'm going to try to set a goal that I can maybe clean and tidy up for at least 10 to 15 minutes a day so that I don't have to let my room get as messy and cluttered as it was, right? Because it was really, really bad. And that's one of the things that us people with ADHD would struggle with: consistency and staying organized and staying clean. Um, but yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about that whole issue with, like, I could definitely feel a burst of energy and a difference after I took my stimulant medication. So I do think that it helps. I have tried like non-stimulant medications like Strattera and Wellbutrin, and I've also tried other stimulants like Ritalin, and I've reviewed and talked about all those medications in my channel. So if you want to check those out, feel free. Um, but what works for me may not work for you. And one thing I do have to talk about, kind of warn you about, is that it's very much a trial and error. Like, I've gone through, I don't know how many medications, probably more than 15 at this point, that I have tried and haven't really worked out for me for one reason or another. But if this is really a goal that you're pursuing, if you want to get medicated, if you feel like medication is going to make a difference, then don't give up because try maybe 3 or 4 medications and they don't work out. Because everybody is different, and I would just say just keep going and keep trying different combinations until you find the one that works for you. And I know it's easier said than done because going through the whole withdrawal process of like stopping a medication and waiting a couple weeks before you start on another one, it's not easy, and it can be difficult, and it has led to depressive episodes for me. And I have a couple videos talking about that as well. But in the end, I do feel like it's worth it. To get kind of that push, right? That boost of energy, that motivation that we need to get everyday things done, like cleaning and doing laundry and folding the laundry. Doesn't have to be so that we can accomplish this big goal. It's just so that we can just kind of function normally on a daily basis and do these things that people without our condition may not struggle with, right? And they may not understand how difficult it is, but it is. And therapy has also helped me because it's helped me come up with like coping mechanisms, and it's helped me understand what works for me as far as cleaning. For example, I've noticed that if I'm cleaning my room and I find things that I don't have a place for, like say I find some of my son's toys and I don't know where to put them. That alone is enough to sabotage my cleaning efforts because I will freeze. Like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where to put this. And that alone is enough for me to like stop what I'm doing and go do something else. So I realize that I have to have a place for everything. I bring different colored bags in, and I'll be like, okay, this bag is for dirty clothes. I'll bring like a little basket and use it for all of my son's little tiny toys, and then the bigger toys I'll put them in his toy chest. So the point is that I have to have, and then I'll have like an extra bag for like trash, right? So I have to have a place for everything before I start cleaning, or else my cleaning efforts will be sabotaged. And it sounds kind of dumb, but that's the way it is. That's what works for me, and that's something I was able to kind of figure out in therapy. But yeah, anyway, I'll be back.